All right. So in the first interview, you mentioned that Paul, your husband, and your mum, you said that you just knew they were your soul family.
Yes.
And a question arose, well, what is a soul family and how do you know?
Mm-hmm. A soul family is a group of spirits that combine on a journey, on a lot of journeys, not just one lifetime, several lifetimes. They combine on several lifetimes in order to challenge and also nurture and support each other. Yes. I put challenge in there because people listening to this interview may say, well, everybody in my family, I don't get on with any of them. Well, one of those people that you least get on with could be a member of your soul family. If someone has a relationship, say that they never got on with their mother or never got on with their father most of their lives, but when they hit 40, all of a sudden they started to get on with them, saw them through new eyes and began to love them like they should have done for the past 40 years. That person is a soul family and has just challenged them to grow. With my family, when I met Paul, I was only 17 and we'd met late in the afternoon and we were close to his home and he said, oh, do you want to come home and meet my parents? And I walked in the back door through the kitchen into the dining room and we sat down there and his parents came in and I looked at his father and I found my best friend for the next 42 years of my life. My father-in-law was the love of my life. We were so connected as a soul connection that as we built our relationship together, he loved me as much as I loved him. And as we built this relationship together, we became telepathic. I would walk past the phone and know that it's going to ring. And I'd pick the phone up and say, hi, Dad. Oh, hi, darling. I was just wondering about this, you know, and we'd be talking all the time. We did everything together. We went everywhere together. Paul always said that there were 3 people in our marriage. His father was one of them. On his deathbed, my father-in-law, whose name was Toby, on his deathbed, in the hospital, he said goodbye to his sons and he said goodbye to his wife. And then he called me over to his bedside and in the loudest voice he could say, he said, I love you. And I said, I know you do, Dad. And he said, no. He said, I love you. And I said, I know you do. And he said, no, I love you. And I said, yep. And I love you too, when he died.
Wow, I'm getting emotional.
And my mother-in-law, then came to live with us because she had mild dementia and she had diabetes, insulin-dependent diabetic. And she came to live with us. A couple of weeks after she came, I found her sitting on the bed just teary-eyed. And I sat down beside her and put my arm around her. And she put her head on my shoulder and she said, Toby loved you. He really loved you. And I said, yes, I know he did. And that was just absolutely wonderful, 100% confirmation of a soul family. I have my eldest brothers in my soul family. My mother's in my soul family.
Yes.
I come from a family of boys. I've only got one brother who's in my soul family. I've got my mother in my soul family, not my father. I've got my father-in-law in my soul family. I've got Paul, who we had been married 11 times before. And so that's why it only took us, we met and 10 days later, we were planning to get married.
Yeah, it's very romantic.
And then we were married for 54 years. Yeah.
54 years.
Before he died, yes.
Yes. So blessed. So I think...
And think about this reality. Think about this reality. All of our life, Paul and I just wanted to spend every waking moment together, but we had to go to work, right? Then on the weekend, we'd spend all the time together. We were obsessed with one another. When Paul got sick and he became his carer, he said to me, look at what the universe has done. We have got 7 days a week, 24 hours together for this journey of this illness.
Yeah.
So we had 22 years where I didn't work and he didn't work and I was caring for him. Yes.
Bless.
And
Beautiful.
that was the reward of our souls. At the time, it was stressful because he nearly died 4 times, all of that. But the soul family gave us all that time. It's
Time
brilliant.
together.
Absolutely brilliant.
Just
so how do
beautiful.
people identify their soul family? If you're in a relationship, your mother and father, and you don't find you get on with either of them, I'll give you an example. One young German fellow who came to see me, I helped him. His parents, both parents were violent, and he took, at the age of 21, at the age of 19, he took his 14-year-old sister out of the house. They got a unit together. He worked full time, put her through school. And then when she started university, he decided to come out and learn how to be self-sufficient. And he came to my property and then started to talk to me. Well, his sister is part of his soul family, but his parents were not. Yes.
Right.
And the only grandparent that supported them, he had 4 living grandparents. One set of grandparents had remarried and only one grandparent supported him. And she was part of his soul family. So soul families nurture. They challenge, but they nurture. Yes.
And the ones that you don't have the connection with, why are we put with people like both parents, perhaps, for like that?
Well, all right, let's
That
look at the
person.
soul family. A
Yeah.
soul family travels with you for your own protection, your own defense, your own sense of security, and your own sense of wholeness. So with a soul family connected to you, it could be the fact that you start kindergarten or preschool and you meet another fellow preschooler and you become friends for all of your life. Yeah, all of your life, right up until you're 80, right? All of your life. Member of the soul family. Member of the soul family.
Is it possible for people to live lives on their own who don't have anyone from their soul family here?
No. All people who incarnate onto this life, this planet, come with your pockets of support.
I see.
And so they, when I say pockets of support, because a soul member of your family can come into your life when you're 16 and stay for two years, come into your life when you're 45. It can simply be, you could be a person who has gone through the medical system. You're so ill and you've been going through the medical system for 2 or 3 years and they don't know what's wrong with you. They don't have the right treatment for you. And then somebody comes along, a doctor, maybe a young doctor or an old doctor, who talks to you and has a very gentle, caring type of tone, and you feel that you can open yourself to this doctor. This is the doctor who finds help for you, whether it's through a social worker coming to talk to you about issues that you might have at home, or whether or not it's a cure for you or a new test that unveils what needs to be treated. Yes. And so soul families, soul journeys, soul families can come through your life all the time. My eldest brother, when I came into life, I came in as a premature baby and I was born crippled and deaf. And the deafness was caused by a metal ear infection, which when they treated me with penicillin, I became allergic to penicillin, but it cured the deafness. They took 4 years to straighten my legs. I had to learn to walk. My eldest brother, being a member of my soul family, he would piggyback me on his, I would ride on his back or sit on his shoulders. And Mum would send him into my bedroom to bring me out for dinner to sit at the table. And he'd bring his body up, he'd neigh like a horse, and then I would have to climb onto his back and we'd ride down the hallway like he was a horse. He has been everything in my life. When my husband died, my brother, I heard a knock on the door at 20 to 7 in the morning, and it was my eldest brother. And he just came in, cried on my shoulder. Yes, yes.
He knew.
Yes, that's
Connection.
this is the soul family.
Yes.
If you happen to have them within your immediate family group or close proximity and friendship or neighbors.
Right.
Yes, it could be a neighbours. It could be somebody going through a flood or somebody going through a bushfire, and somebody that they've never met before steps out and they become friends for the rest of their life.
Mm.
Yeah. Soul families traveling. How many members of the soul family? That really depends on what your path is in life. You might have 6 just key soul members, but then again you might have 150.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so they can bob in, they can bob out.
And they can be in different countries.
Yeah.
Say, for instance, I'll give you another example.
Yeah.
2 backpackers that I was helping out. One of them was flying into England to see England before she returned to Germany. All her luggage, when she arrived in London, all her luggage was sent to the US. So she had very little money. And I said to her, well, I've got contacts all over the world. You just stay put. I'll ring a few people, the first one to answer. So a young girl by the name of Georgie, she'd been here to study self-sufficiency with us. And she drove down and she met the German girl. And the German girl said, oh, well, I want to stay in London. This is part of my planning. I want to visit different things. So Georgie said, well, come home with me. And as soon as the airport contacts us, they became friends for the next, what was that, about 12 years ago? So they've become friends all that time. Georgie is part of her soul family. One is German and one is British.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, as you're explaining this, I'm thinking, oh, I believe that there's members of my soul family because I have a connection with them, but one of them, I discovered him when he passed. So, and that I'm going to say it on this in this interview, but it's Guy Harriman who invented the Ajna light. Oh, when I listen to him speak on YouTube, there's just such a feeling and emotion that wells up inside of me.
Yes.
So I feel that he's part of my soul family.
Could be part of your soul family,
yeah.
or you could have been his student at another time in your life, or you could have been a member of his extended family, or somebody who lived in the village, or a neighbor. This is where we get recognition. I once got out of a lift, traveling up into a building. I had an appointment. We went to the 4th floor. Paul and I got out. Paul was carrying our bags, and we turned right to go down the corridor. A man walked past. He stopped. I stopped. We turned around and we looked at each other, and he came up and he said to me, "You talk to God."
Oh, wow.
And I said to him, "Yes." He said, "We must meet." Pulled out a card and he said, "Call me." And I did. And then he became my associate when we had to work on some big cases that involved the mafia and places like that, right? He worked on that with me. Yes. I brought him into the police arena. Yeah. And we worked together.
Wow. Your life has just flowed so beautifully. So
beautifully. People fall into place.
That's it. Is it possible to have a soul family member who is, this is an out there question perhaps for some viewers, a soul member, family member, who is an extraterrestrial. Is that possible? Like the person I'm thinking of is Bashar, channeled by Daryl Anker.
Yep. Not really. Not
Okay.
really.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean to say they're not connected to you, but
Okay.
soul families travel in your self-development reality with you in your lifetimes. So if you're regressed and you go back to Spain in the 700s or something like that, you know, your soul family is there. If you go through to the 13th century, your soul family is there. When you get to extraterrestrials, that's a different reality and a different genre altogether. It doesn't mean to say you're not connected to them, and it doesn't mean to say that you don't know them and haven't shared a relationship with them. It just simply means they're not part of your journey. Even if you were to channel and they were to come through and channel through you,
Yes.
that doesn't mean to say you have shared a past life with them. That means that you have reached a point in your life where all of the other realms know that you can be used as a vehicle.
Vehicle, yes.
Yes.
I see. All right. Very
Does that
interesting.
help you understand it?
Yes, it has, for sure.
That's what the human aura explains. This is where I have been invited to trance channelers, and I've seen lots of fakes, lots and lots and lots of fakes. Too many. Rarely, you know, like if I went to 100, right, I would find most probably 8 that were real. Yes.
Okay.
It's the color of the human mind, and are they channeling anything? Are they channeling their higher self? In some cases, they're getting information coming from the higher self. Yes, we are as human beings theatrical people. You know, you look at an emotional outburst, that is, you look at a tantrum in a child. We're very theatrical people. And so it doesn't surprise me. And is the trance channeling hurting anyone? No, it's not. It's not. People go along and they grow out of that. Are they following this person as a trance channel? The answer is yes. Are they truly trance channeling? The answer is no. So where is the information coming? The information is coming from within the channel, from lifetimes of having preaching and teaching.
I see. So the higher self.
Not necessarily the higher self.
Different again.
They can be tapping into layers of the mind that can do that. And they can only do it when they're in a meditative state with their eyes closed, so that they haven't got any physical distractions in front of them.
Yes. All right. Well, that will lead me on to my next question for any viewers watching who, and again, on this same topic, for any viewers, and it's a bit for me too, why not? Trance channeling, what would be, what would you suggest a person could do to actually do it properly?
Yeah. Well, there's channeling and trance channeling. They're two different things.
Okay.
Channeling means that you can open parts of your aura and you can have one spirit come through, right? Trance channeling means that you are connected and open to universal energy, and anybody can come through. You can have dozens of people come through. The book, Other Ways of Knowing, from the trance channeling, is the fact that all of the different religious orders that were coming to interview Jerome, right? They were asking questions about different people and their lifestyle. They were asking Philip Neri, who was part of the Jesuit founding of their order, Francis of Assisi doing the Franciscans, Benedict doing the Benedict. Then they started asking questions about that. So Jerome made audiences and said, right, I'll bring that through. So the Benedictines could come in, and then Benedict was there, and the Franciscans come in and Francis was there, and the Jesuits came in and Philip Neri was there, and that kind of thing. In the Francis of Assisi, Claire was there as well. Claire, she founded sisterhood. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
So trance channeling opens it to a wealth of, but there'll be one spirit who is your guardian, because you are then open to everything, and your one spirit will then guard you. Channeling can be done from your higher self, and it can be done from one spirit who is there to enlighten and educate people. Yeah.
And when you're channeling, then is it possible to remember bits and pieces of the
Oh
information?
yes, channeling. Your mind can witness lots of things, and your mind can hear. So you're actually got your hearing as well. Yes,
Yes.
and you've
All
got
right.
memory with it. Trance channeling. Your mind is floating. When I say floating, that doesn't mean to say you're not thinking, because you cannot stop thinking. Your thinking regulates your heart and your, yes. A couple of times in the channeling, I believe, I don't have any experience, but my sister-in-law, who was the guardian of my physical body, has told me that Jerome stopped the channeling because my heart was racing too much
Mm.
and it needed to be calmed.
Yes. I've
Yeah.
heard about these because I've read nearly all of Dolores Cannon's books.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yes, and she talks about, the person going into that deep hypnotic somnambulistic trance-like state, that this happens, and then exactly what you said, there's a pause. Either they need to, become cooler, turn on the fan, let their heart rate come down. Yes, yeah. So they monitor the channel.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's very interesting, very interesting.
Mm.
All right, thank you so much. Very good.
Yes, very good. I think you're enjoying this, aren't you?
I really am. I could speak to you for months, not just days.
Well, I'm enjoying it because I haven't done it for 22 years.
How good is that? I'm so glad that perhaps I'm maybe one of the earlier people that's allowing you to come out again and
Yes,
share your
yes.
life. If you have enjoyed my show, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to be my next guest on the show, my details are in the description box below.